Transformational projects, this is certainly one of them. You know, what we know about Belmont Park as a whole, at least when it began, it was about 43 acres, about 1.3 billion in a mixed-use project, so a major economic engine, right? So when we look at this, and I'm excited, I saw Valentino, I got all excited when I so, you know, really to look at upscale, not only shops, but places to dine and things to do, and so real conversation piece. So we're excited about that. I'm going to turn it over to Joe to say a few quick words.
For venturing in, you know, one of the criticisms that we hear from constituents and elected officials deeper east of here is they don't want to turn Long Island into another Queens. Well, I say, if this is representative of Queens, we want to turn Long Island into another Queens. I mean, this is really a work of art insofar as developers have taken what was particularly a dead area, right? And through architecture and engineering and visionary creation have created such an incredible ecosystem, an economic ecosystem of what would have been dead space, right? And this is what we're all about here at HIA, is working with the best, the brightest, and the most innovative to help keep Long Island a very vibrant place to do business, work, play, and live. And so hats off to the creation here. It's been fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And before I introduce you, yeah, thank you.
Sure. So I have the honor of representing the governor here in Nassau County, and you know, the work that's been done on state land, right, on state property here, it's been amazing. UBS Arena has had so many amazing events hosting our Islanders, and now we have Belmont Village, a great spot. I've never seen it. I'm really excited, and I always joke. I just wish there was housing here. Because, you know, when I look at
it could be.
When I look at the way that they've constructed this, this is how Long Island should be developed, and how we should look at how housing and mixed use should be developed moving forward. And they've done such an amazing job, and I'm so excited to see this. And so thank you all for coming, and welcome to Nassau County.
Correct, fantastic. Terry, thank you, and guys, thank you very much for coming and spending time with us this morning. My name is Simon Williamson. I'm the chief merchant here at Belmont Park Village. I've been with Value Retail, who are the operators of the village here in Belmont Park. We have a number of projects which we have developed over the last 30 years across Europe and China. Belmont Park Village is actually the 12th village in the collection. Our very first project was actually outside Oxford in the UK, in a place called Bicester. For a Brit, it's called Bicester. For Americans, it could become a Bicester. It's a very difficult name to pronounce. Bicester Village was actually our very first project out in the UK. It turned 30 this year. It is one of the most successful retail projects in the world in terms of dollar per square foot. It houses over 165 stores from across the luxury sector, and it is the second most visited tourist destination in the UK after Buckingham Palace. So if Bicester is the acorn that we have planted here out in Belmont Park, I think a very fine oak tree is about to grow, or is growing out of the ground. So we're very delighted to have you here, and also to be able to share what we've been up to here at Belmont. I think what's really interesting is that we have the village, and the Vista collection is rooted in luxury experiences. And what we mean by that is, you know, look at the space that you're standing in today. We refer to this as the apartment. The apartment space is here to cater towards our VIP clients. We host them here, we do special events here, we do cocktail parties, we will do selling events. I apologize if you hear beeping noises or drilling, because we are actually building a similar space to here right next door, which will open in mid-November. So we won't stand in the way of progress if you hear a little bit of drilling. It's not just about shopping, it's also about services. We have a concierge, which you will see when you walk through the south entrance. We have a concierge team who are welcoming our guests as they arrive in the village. We have an assortment of luxury brands, from Valentino, which we hope you'd spend some time in today, Tom Brown, some real New York favorites, as well as some international luxury brands. We also have dining, so we have Pret-a-Manger. It's the very first Pret in Long Island, which opened with us towards the end of last year. That's a grab-and-go option for our clients. But we also have a vegan restaurant in La Botaniste, and we also have a full-service sit-down restaurant, which is called Hundredfold, which is run by Patina Group, which is part of Delaware North. Delaware North are actually our food spot. They look after all the food and beverage and catering at the UBS Arena, and they have been partnering with us to create a unique restaurant in the village, which is run. The chef there is called Tim Hollingsworth. He's a James Beard award-winning chef, and he was also the sous chef at the French Laundry, if you know that, under Thomas Keller, out in California. So lots of really, really exciting things happening here in the village. From not just from a brand perspective, but also from a restaurant, food, and hospitality perspective. I have my cards just to make sure I don't forget anything. So what's really interesting, and we talk about this a lot, is about the economic impact that the village is actually having on the local community. It's a really important part of our business. When the village is fully operating, we will have around 1,500 full-time jobs here in the project, of which we believe more than 30% of the people working here will actually come from the local area within a 4-mile drive radius. Based upon the data that we have to date, based on the people who are working not just here in the village, in our own team, but also working in the boutiques and also working in the restaurants, many of them are actually coming from the local area, some of whom even walk to work. So I think it's a really, really positive impact. It is something that has always been rooted in our business, even at Vista Village out in Oxford. Vista was a very small market town, couple of stores in the city, in the town centre, but not really, and a real market town. 30 years later, it is actually the fastest growing town in the United Kingdom. It has more housing being built there than any other town in the country, and it has virtually zero unemployment. And that's not just a halo effect from Vista, but also the other businesses that have been able to bolt on to the fact that Vista was an anchor in the town centre. So again, back to that acorn being sown, the expectation is that the halo effect from bringing Belmont, the arena, the racetrack, and the campus at large will have a significant impact in terms of employment and tax revenue for the local area. The other thing I would just wanted to mention as well is one of our things is we're not just rooted in the local community in terms of our shoppers. We have a very large outreach to what we refer to as our drive market and international clients, and what that means is strategically we are located a 15 to 20 minute drive to JFK. We're a 25 minute to LaGuardia. Source market tourism, so that means people who are coming from out of the tri-state area, is very, very important to us. And when we get to maturity, I would expect that 45 to 50% of our business will come from people who don't actually live on Long Island or in the tri-state area. So I think there is huge economic impact and positive impact in terms of those people coming into the local area, and that, again, the halo effect that will be driven by that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as well is also about partnerships. You know, we may be new. We will have our first anniversary on the 16th of October. But already we've started to outreach into the community. Luis and the team have been working with local hotel partners, and we really want to make sure that we've got those partnerships sewn up with people like you in the community. And we're very interested in developing individual relationships with your different organizations and the businesses that you represent to make sure that there is synergy between what we're doing here and also what's going on in your world. So the team are here to have those discussions and to explore those opportunities, which I think will be really, really exciting. It's something that we've done across community, across all of our villages. Is really important. It's very easy to suddenly pop up and have nothing to do with the community. But that's not the business we're in. We're here, of course, to drive revenue, and of course we're here to serve our guests, but most importantly, we are here to drive partnerships with the local community to make sure that we've got those business opportunities sewn up. last but not least, the village will be transitioning into, we have the fall collections in the village right now. Towards the end of October, beginning of November, we'll start to install all the holiday lights and all the holiday schemes. We have a lot of activities which will happen through November and December, which will be attracting guests to the village. We'd love you to become part of that and come and experience it. There'll be lots of events. We have the Pentatonics who are playing at the UBS Arena. So there's going to be a real festive feel to the project through November and December. And last but not least, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure to host you. We're very excited for those who haven't seen the village yet to go on a tour with us and the team. So we'll be delighted to share that experience with you. And finally, I believe we have a small token of thanks. We'll be giving you a voucher to return to the village with the guest to dine at 100-fold, which is the restaurant that I referred to earlier on. So again, thank you for being here.